Hello there, this is Linda Stacy of Living Blueprints, and today I am talking about tolerance for mistakes versus tolerance for learning. And Carol Dweck talks about mindset factor, or the growth factor in mindset. So I'm going to be talking a little bit about that. And just a quick reminder, if you're watching this on YouTube or Facebook, I'd love it if you would like the video so other people can see it. And if you're on YouTube, to subscribe to the channel. And if you are on YouTube, know that this live streams on the Living Blueprints community page in Facebook. So if you were to look for Living Blueprints, and that's no E in the blue in Living Blueprints, all one word, in Facebook, you would find the community page. And of course, I would allow you to join in if you request access. So a little bit about mistakes. I mean, this is a big topic. And today I'm really talking about how mistakes affect us internally when we feel like we failed from moment to moment or day to day, or maybe there's been a big failure in our lives, and how that can kind of weigh us down. When we really talk about it in a work situation, and I think about manufacturing and I think of mistakes, I think of like huge, big money-driven mistakes. And that's not so much what I'm talking about, but it's a little bit about what I'm talking about. Overall, mistakes are inherent in life and living. And if we're trying to avoid them in a way that is out of control, we're never really going to learn or be open to new opportunity. I mean, some people actually are like paralyzed by the idea that they could make a mistake. I mean, it's one of the reasons people won't get up on stage, because if they forget something or something goes awry, what are they going to do? How are they going to recover? Well, people recover all the time. And some of the most successful people have had tremendous failure, tremendous embarrassment, publicly and otherwise. And it only has allowed them to thrive depending on how they perceive what has happened. So what is your mistake tolerance factor? What is a tolerance for mistake in your world, whether at home or at work? I mean, depending again where you work, if it's manufacturing and you're like on the floor, you certainly can't be careless. But where can some amount of tweaking be open and be a thing that can be okay? How can we treat our coworkers in an open way so that we understand that there's going to be learning, which can sometimes involve mistakes? So I was listening to Tim Ferriss's podcast a couple of years ago, and he was interviewing the CEO of Walmart, Doug McMillon, and Tim asked him about biggest mistake or a biggest failure. And Tim kind of defines these as differentiating failures or mistakes that kind of really shook you and created something new, or ended up being a launch pad for something else. And early in Doug McMillon's career, he was in his 20s, and he was a buyer in the chip division for Walmart. And he was responsible for this flyer circular that was going out. Frito-Lay had just come out with the lime and chili flavored Tostitos, and so they got the full front page ad of the circular, and it was to be shipped to millions of consumers across the US. So this mailer goes out, and they get calls almost immediately as this thing starts hitting. And it turns out that this product was not available west of the Mississippi. So there were all of these people, all of these stores, customers upset, store managers. Can you imagine working in that store and being the person to say, sorry, we don't carry that, even though the flyer was advertising it there? So it was a huge mistake. Part of his job was to come up with a solution. And what they did was, they had a coupon. Frito-Lay helped them with a coupon for free product for anyone who complained. But of course, this didn't really solve the ultimate issue. He was, his supervisor made him go and tell like the chief marketing person what had happened, which didn't go well. And he really walked around with his head hung very low for a period of time. And he really thought that his time at Walmart was over, that this was it, that he had failed, and he was going to have to think of a new trajectory. Now, he went on. He is currently the CEO of a $400 billion, retailer. So we need to understand that people in these really large positions have suffered some major mistakes. And I have seen in organizations where often people in middle management or functional group heads are extremely afraid of being seen as making mistakes, or the department seen as making mistakes. And this can really cause people to kind of hunker down and not ask questions. I did this live stream a few weeks ago about asking dumb questions at work. And that was number 043 if you want to go back and look at that. But I think overall, having some mistake tolerance is important as we go through our day-to-day. Again, as I was saying, from a personal perspective, not to be so harsh on ourselves moment to moment when things seem to have gone wrong, but really it's just part of discovery. If you are in a situation at work where you want to propose something new and there might be some resistance, people may be afraid that it might not go that well, or it's your idea and you're pitching it up or something, I really recommend starting anything as a pilot, or just some kind of, you're going to put some end date on it so that everyone understands we're going to assess how this went after a period of time. This can give everyone a little bit of calm and ease around the fact that we're going to try this, see how it goes, and go from there. So tolerance factor around mistakes is a huge thing. It's a key differentiator. Athletes know that they're going to fail constantly, and they're constantly working to tweak and improve. And the more that we can adopt this mindset, I think the more energized we will be. I know for me personally, almost every day I'm being asked questions for which I know that there is no good answer. I am in the world of research and business and industry research. And, since the advent of the internet, people really do think that anything you can think of will have an answer on the internet or elsewhere, that the answer exists. So that's not always the case, or it could be the case, but something might cost $15,000 and we don't have the budget for it. So there's actually this 55% statistic in my industry that's the amount of time that you're not going to be able to give the asker what they're asking for. So we can really take this personally in this position that, I failed 55% of the time. And it's like, no, I didn't fail. For me, it has to be this shift in perception around, I am helping this person understand why they're going to have to change the way they're asking the question. I'm helping them understand, why the information isn't out there the way they think. And it really does help them form better questions and understand the market better. And it's a different take on what we're doing. I think all of us can't do what we're asking of ourselves or others are asking of us 100% the way they want. And I think sometimes we can perceive this as failure or a personal mistake. We don't want to put ourselves in that position. It can be extremely draining to take that on. And I think more how anything can be a learning experience both for you and the person that you're assisting. That is the way to go. And at the end of the day, pat yourself on the back for all of the things that you've brought forward, that you've moved forward, and the awesome things you bring to the world just by being who you are and being the contribution that you are. So a little bit today about mistakes and having a growth mindset and a learning mindset, and hoping that your organizations allow for this to some degree. It can be a tough one when people are fearful of looking dumb. Anywho, again, if you're watching this on Facebook or YouTube, I'd love it if you'd like it. Subscribe on YouTube. And if you want to watch the live streams, you join at Living Blueprints Community in Facebook. And I hope you all are having a great week. Bye-bye.